These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here.
I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. My name is Ed, and as always, we are pursuing greatness in a world full of chaos. We are here. It's Thursday. This is episode 4. This episode is titled The Importance of the Journey. How's your week been? I hope it's been great. Mine was busy. We working, trying to wrap up some last minute things. Back to school is getting ready to happen, so we're getting kids ready and all that good stuff. But overall, it's been good. I think if I had to rank it, scale of 1 to 10, I'm at an 8. I feel pretty good about things. There's fatigue, but at the same time, a lot of cool things are coming down the pipeline. So just kind of waiting and seeing how things are. But as of right now, I feel pretty good at about an 8. So I hope you've had a great week. I hope you were blessed by the episode on Monday. I'm really excited I was able to do that. If I miss Thursdays, I'm going to try to aim to at least do something like that. Or maybe I might do some surprise bonuses along the way. You just never know. We got time to develop on this. It's all about growth. It's all about the journey. See what I did there? So today we're just going to talk a little bit about your journey, why it's important, why you should focus on that more so than the destination. Obviously, the destination is where we're trying to end up, but I am a firm believer that as you go through the journey, that's when you truly build character. That's when you really start to define who you are as a person, what you tolerate, what you like, what you don't like, what you can improve on, what you're great at, what your expertise, what are things you need to learn. It's all about character building along the journey. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited that you are all here. If you are new, welcome. The biggest goal in this is as we overthink these thoughts, we're trying to pursue greatness in a world full of chaos, trying to keep our thoughts simple so we can just move forward in life and truly enjoy the things that we are blessed to do, and truly enjoy the things that God has called us to do, truly enjoy the things that are put in front of us that are meant for us to do without us overthinking, is this what I'm supposed to do? Makes sense? Right on. If you're returning, I appreciate your loyalty. Drop a comment on Instagram if you are rocking with me or rocking with the episodes. Instagram handle is OverthinkingThoughtsPod. You can also email any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that to overthinkingthoughtspod@gmail.com. And we're on TikTok at OverthinkingThoughtsPod. Posting clips over there as well. So run the views up, run the likes up, like, subscribe, share this with everybody. Linktree is in the Instagram description of where you can listen on Spotify, Anchor, or check me out on YouTube as well. So we are here. This is episode 4. Today we're going to talk about the importance of the journey. So I'm going to use a story that is equal parts funny and some challenges and some crazy things, but reaching a destination was key. So today I'm going to talk to you about my journey of trying to get the family to Florida for a vacation. I don't even know where to start with how crazy it was, but we'll work our way through. This is we'll just see how this goes. So a while back, the fam decided that we were going to go to Florida, Seagrove Beach, to enjoy some summer vacation time, just kind of get away. It was great. So as you're starting your journey, you have to plan out like all these different things, right? Where we got to pack, we got to make sure we got everything. And also for us, we had a newborn, so we had to pack like extra stuff. We're looking at playpens and toys and sleep stuff and bottles and diapers and extra like just way more than what we would normally do, but we had to do what we had to do, right? So planning all that stuff, obviously making sure we rent a car, rent a minivan, I have a personal gripe against minivans, but I also know that I'm gonna have to drive one. It just is what it is. I've accepted my fate, but it's whatever. So we had to rent this minivan, and we had got it off like right after work, and then we were running around trying to buy like last minute stuff. We were preparing. I mean, we had like the snacks, and we had the bags, and we had the heavy stuff packed. We had it all in our front room. Probably got home like 8:30. Everybody's tired. We decide, let's just sit down, let's grab something to eat, we'll watch a movie, and then when the movie's over with, get the kids rested, I can throw all the heavy stuff in the van, so that way, in the morning, we just pack the bags, boom, boom, we out, 8 o'clock. We know we leaving at 8, right? Here's the thing about the journey. You can plan it however you want to, yet sometimes things don't always go according to plan. I go outside to go unlock the car to make sure I put all my stuff in the van. Van gone. Gone. Like, not in the parking lot, not in the spot where I parked, not anywhere moved. Gone. Houdini disappeared. Gone. I'm like, what? Come back in the house. I'm looking at my wife. She looking at me. I'm like, it's gone. Come outside and see it for yourself. She come outside. She's like, oh, this is crazy. Here's what I should mention. In the complex of where we live, you have to have these little parking stickers. Sometimes you can get away with parking like a guest car there if you're not there for a long time. I'm not thinking that on a Friday night at 10 o'clock that a tow truck guy is thinking about towing away a minivan. But somebody made a call and was like, this van shouldn't be here. Why is it here? First of all, why are we towing minivans in the first place? What could you possibly be doing in a minivan? It is a minivan. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I was very upset about this. Get outside. We're just like, what is going on? So she calls the little non-emergency line. They tell her that it got towed. We're trying to call the tow truck people. I'm like, look, is there any way we can get this back tonight? No answer. What do? We think, well, let's find a location of where it got towed. Maybe somebody's there. It's worth the shot, right? We still trying to stay on plan. We got everything planned out. We're like, all right, we can do this. We go, and we get there. Took like 20 minutes. We had to wake the baby up. We waking my son up. We drive all the way down there. We get there. Everything's locked. Not a soul in sight. And it is in like one of the sketchiest parts of the neighborhood. At this point, we just count our losses and we go home. I'm like, you know what? We'll get a better start. We'll just go. Wake up the next morning. We call. We get down there. It's a little after like 7:30. We come back home and then we got to pack all the stuff in. And then we're like, okay, cool. We can get on the road. Way past schedule, but I'm like, it's cool. I'm thinking about the water and the beach and the sun and not having to work for a week. It's cool. What do you think could possibly happen now? Traffic. Mind you, holiday weekend. Which is the other reason why we were trying to hurry up and get out of there. But, oh, it was crazy. And sometimes when you're on your journey, as you're moving forward, there's going to be some congested spots where you're trying to maneuver and make your way through. And the thing is what I've learned is you just have to be patient. Sometimes those spots slow you down so that way you don't crash and burn and speed way past something that could help develop a lesson or a skill that you're going to need. In this particular case, my skill had to be patience because not only am I trying to get here, but I also have to make sure that the people with me are safe. I got to make sure that my baby's good because you got to make extra stops. And that part was cool. We're able to pull over. He just chilling, drinking his bottle. We're stretching out a little bit. We're getting everything we need to do. So it's cool. So, traffic, whatever, holiday weekend, whatever. We can stay patient. It's fine. And then we are dead still for like 40, 50, maybe an hour or some change, just trying to get to the halfway point because we were going to stay at a hotel and then we were going to continue the trip the next day. I mean, we're just there like, ugh. And one particular part of this journey that was interesting, we were outside of, I think it was Nashville. And we need to get gas. And off the expressway, I see 2 gas stations. I don't think anything of it. I'm like, cool, gas station. I pull up. And when I got out the van, I quickly realized that this was a bad decision to go to this particular gas station. Why would you say that? If you are a fan of The Wire, which, side note, is the best television show ever made. Nothing compares. Often imitated, never duplicated, right? The Wire is a great show. If you're a fan of The Wire and you are familiar with Amsterdam, then you'll understand when I say this gas station looked like that. It was crazy. I saw a lot of things that I did not need to see at a gas station. One in particular, which I will share because it is the mildest thing I saw, was there's this woman. One of the guys came out of the gas station that works there, so he's like emptying trash, and it's like, he see me, I see him, brother, head nod, we good or whatever. And this lady comes up. She's probably 6-7 months pregnant. She's talking to him about something. But the whole time, I'm like looking around. So I'm like pumping gas and checking my surroundings at the same time, just because I got my boy in the car. And he's seeing all this, and he's trying to figure out, like, why does it look like this? This is a weird gas station. Across the street, there's these, like, abandoned motels and things. And of people who were just there. And it was sad, man, because for me, what I saw was people who probably had potential, or something went crazy and they either A, they didn't have a handout, or B, they just chose, a wrong road and thought that was the best thing, or C, that was all they saw and they never got an opportunity to maybe change the trajectory of the journey that they were on. And it was just sad because then it was like, it was just there. And I think we had to see that. Well, I think like my children or my son saw it, because he had a lot of questions when I got back in, and I was just like, man, I really hate you had to see that. And he said, yeah, it just seemed like not so much scary, but just like, wow, this is sad. That same woman that came up and talked to the gas station guy, when she walked off, he kind of looked at me, and I could tell like he was bothered, and he was just like, man, I hope her baby's gonna be okay. I said, what you mean? And he's like, she come over here all the time with the same stuff, and she on drugs. I'm just like, and my heart, like, that hurt, man. Because, like, I wasn't expecting to see that while we were traveling. Like, that's the stuff you don't think about. Like, I'm just trying to get gas, get some snacks, get in, get out, go. I didn't expect to see something like that. And it made me think about, like, my son, who was just experiencing life, and as a parent, you try to do everything you can to guide your kids in the right direction. But it was just one of those things where it was like, I saw it, and instead of looking down on those people and thinking that I was better, I more so thought of, I can't physically change every single person, but I can at least pray for them and hope that something changes, that something in their life is positive, where they can build off that and maybe find a way. Sometimes that happens. When you're on your journey, you might be doing really well, excelling, getting all the stuff that you want, the promotions, the raise, the money, like all those good things that you love. And you might see somebody who is suffering. And a lot of times what you'll see is, we're conditioned that, all right, I got to get this status. And everybody under me, I'm going to just walk over them because I got to be top notch. I got to be the boss. I got to be the big dog. And you ain't always got to be that. You can be big dog and still have compassion for the people around you. You can be top of the class, but still have humility and the discipline to be a educated leader, in the sense of seeing people that might be struggling and finding a way to help them move forward, rather than looking at them and thinking that they are less than. A lot of those people, you could tell when you look at them, felt less than. And in that moment, I just felt like, and it just makes me look at my children with the hope that maybe they can see stuff like this and make better decisions in life. But it was just sad, man. Like, it was one of those parts where I had to really just stop and think to myself, like, look, I don't know why different paths are different. I don't know why certain people gravitate toward different things. I know that I have to stay focused and realize that, like, it's out there, and the best thing I can do is stay on my journey and do the best that I can, but also have those compassions for other folks that are struggling. You don't have to always look down on people. Sometimes how you live and how you conduct yourself on the journey will be the motivation for others to at least get started on theirs. So don't look down on people, right? Like, I guess that's my biggest thing. It's like, don't look down on people. Try to live your life in a way of which a person can see you and be inspired by your actions, your beliefs, and how you carry yourself, rather than be turned off by your arrogance and your ego and this boisterous attitude of I'm better than everybody. It just turns people away. But anyway, that was part of it. And sometimes you got to see some of the rough parts, right? So we finally get to the hotel, and my mind's just like spinning because I'm thinking about all this stuff. And our hotel room was like right by the pool, so everybody was down there, and it was just like one of those things where it was like, oh man, I just want to go to bed. But what was sweet about that moment, like thinking about all those like crazy times, to be able to see my kids smile and be able to go on vacation, because this was just stuff I never did. Like, not that we couldn't do it, we didn't have everything needed to take these trips. And now, you know, I'm very blessed to be in a position where we can say, hey, our family's going to go here, we can do this and do that, and we can plan it, and we can make sure that our kids enjoy life and see things. And I know my parents wanted to do that for me, and I think the best thing that they ever did was allow me to ask questions, to see things, and to explore without judging what I was doing. And I'm very thankful for my mom and my pops for just allowing me to pursue things and chase and be able to ask questions. Like, that to me is huge. And that's also part of the journey, trying to gain knowledge from every aspect, talking to people that are more experienced, talking to people that are just starting, talking to people that are in the same field, on the same road, and not looking at, I mean, obviously there's a competitive piece, but not always looking at it as competition, but more so looking at it as gaining valuable insight and wisdom so that everybody can eat and everybody can grow. But anyway, so we rest, then we get back on the road, and traffic is heavy, and you know, people are rude, and now the meltdown is happening. The part of the journey where you're just frustrated that you're trying to get to your destination, and you're trying to reach it, and you can see it, and it's close, and then there's just something there to where you feel like, I can't move, I can't make the progression, I have been trying, and I've been moving, and I've been going, and I just can't get there. For my sons, that meant that we weren't moving. And so, God bless my son, he's just like, I hate traffic, this is the most ridiculous thing ever, I just want to be at the beach. I'm just like, I got it, but we can't get there until we move. Well, that's not my fault that people aren't moving. It's like, son, what do you want me to, I can't move the cars. Like, I'm not in charge of that. But he didn't know. He just wants to be there and have fun. And I get it. I want to be there too. I want to get there, but I also know that I have to take these steps, right? And so, like, now he's just frustrated. He's hungry, he crying, he tired. And now that he's crying, my youngest son is like, oh, that's what we doing? Okay. So now he starts crying. And I'm just in the front like, oh my gosh, like, give me patience. My wife she's just sitting there, and she's just kind of like, this is what it is. Like, we'll be okay. And she was positive the whole way through, man. Like, it really helped to have her, like, push me through. So we finally get to moving. We finally break through. And this whole time, like, we were definitely the last car to get there. And then I think, so before we left, we typed in the address. Like, hey, this has got to be it, right? Like, we got the address, put it in GPS. Hey, this is where we are. It's on Seagull Beach. Perfect. Wouldn't you know it that there were two addresses, that they were the exact same? And it took us to the wrong address. And although it was dressed up the same way as we were supposed to go to this other place, and what I mean by that was this. It was, okay, when you get there, there's going to be a gate. And when you get to the gate, you're going to punch in the code. The gate will open. And when you come in, you're going to just go around the circle and you'll see the house. I'm like, that's simple. So when I pull up, there's the gate. Punch the code. Doesn't work. Okay. I do it again. Doesn't work. Luckily, somebody pulled up behind me and was like, oh, is it not working? I think you got to do this. So he does the thing. It opens. I'm like, cool. We start driving this neighborhood, and I'm like, look, I know we spent some money, but I don't think we spent this much money. We were clearly in the wrong spot. Now I'm just like, oh my God. Like, when you think you're there, and you think you have access, and then you realize that that's not where you're supposed to be. You're in the wrong spot, and now you have to turn around and do it all over. Oh, it's so frustrating. But on the journey, think about that. How many times have you failed, or how many times you made mistakes and you had to restart? Like, does that discourage you? Does that make you feel like you're not good enough? Does it make you feel like you're not going to make it? And you're watching other people progress and everybody's moving and smiling. And that was the biggest thing for me, was like to having to drive through all of the like gift shops and restaurants and people walking around and having a good time. And I'm just in this van like this, upset, in a minivan with all types of stuff and crying babies in a minivan, right? Like just trying to get to my destination. Frustrated because I'm like, I thought that I was there. I thought that this was it. And I got there and I had to turn around because I did not have access to this part. And it was frustrating. And sometimes on that journey, when you think you've made it to your destination, you have to realize that maybe you have to go a little further. You know, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. You think you're right there, but then you realize, oh, I still have some steps to take. And now you're trying to find that energy to push. That's the part where some people quit, right? In a couple, I think it was episode 2 where I was telling you, don't quit, and you're so much closer to your breakthrough. Like, that's the part I'm talking about, where you feel like I'm getting ready to make it. And then something happens right there that will make or break you. So many people walk away from it and quit, and it's just left. And that's the part where you have to dig deep and go, okay, I have made all of this progression. I've taken all of these steps. I've pushed myself, but I'm not where I need to be. And it's frustrating. And it's like, how do I find the strength to carry on? Man, it's tough. And I just had to turn back around and I said, you know what? I'm here. I'm in the location. I just have to get there. And through some prayer and maybe some words that are not suitable, Father, forgive me, we finally got to our destination. And we got there and everything was frazzled and everybody else was already comfortably sitting there, right? And I was just like, look at them, all happy and snuggled in, and they took showers and they eating, and I'm just like, man, I am tired. But the one thing that I have to remember in that situation was I'm looking at all these people that made it there. They got there on time, on the time that they were supposed to get there. It wasn't my time yet. Sometimes it's not your time yet, and you just have to wait patiently until it is yours. And then when it is your time, then you're able to sit back and enjoy it. So when I finally was able to get there and relax and just analyzing everything that I saw over the past 48 hours, to then sit and realize that I'm at my destination, it just made it that much more valuable. Because then for the remainder of that week, I'm holding my newborn son and, you know, we're at the pool, or he's taking a nap and we're watching TV, or he's interacting with his cousins, or we're down at the beach for the first time and he touches the ocean for the first time before he's even 1. And I had never been in the ocean until I was in college, right? Like that, like those things blow my mind. Like for him to be able to, high school, that's not important. What's important is that, you know, to enjoy that moment, like all the stuff we went through, from the van being towed to being in traffic to seeing some dark spots to not being able to move and going to the wrong location, to then be able to walk and see the beach and water and my family and our, you know, extended family enjoying themselves and watching their kids run around and listening to us have a good time. And me and my son like my oldest son, we're in the wave, crashing into the waves and jumping and enjoying stuff. And he's playing spike ball with his cousins, and he's going to the pool, and he's like experiencing a part of life that like I didn't necessarily have, but he's able to enjoy it. Man, how great is that journey? That although I didn't have it before, I have access to it now. And maybe sometimes like I didn't get to the point where I wanted to be, but God said, This isn't where you need to be. You need to see this, but I'm going to take you to something that's even greater. That neighborhood that we went to at first didn't have a beachfront view. It didn't have the beach. You had to drive into other people's yards to get to the beach. It was like a weird thing. Us, you walked out, you went down the little path right there. 3 minutes tops. That destination was greater. Now imagine if I would have settled and been in a place where I didn't need to be. Are you settling right now? Are you settling on your journey? Are you sitting comfortably in a place you don't need to be because you're afraid to take the next step? Are you not wanting to embrace the challenge that's in front of you? Are you not letting the journey build your character? Like, the journey is so much important. If I just dropped you off at your destination, yeah, you'll enjoy it, but how are you going to be grateful for it? Like, all the things you had to go through to get there, are you really going to fully understand the magnitude of how far you've come to enjoy that destination? Now, we talking about vacation, like as the example, but the destination of your future job or finding your future spouse or, making a major career move or moving across the country or doing something that God has intended you to do and you went through it all and you can stand before him and stand before your people and show them that, hey, if I can do this, you can too. Like, how important is that? What I'm trying to get you to understand is that this journey that we're on is building you up for something greater. And yeah, sometimes you're going to get knocked down. But at least you have a foundation to land on. And you'll build yourself up from that. And then when it's your time, when it is your time, you're going to shine because you have done it the right way. You've embraced the journey and you've put yourself in a position to be great. That's what I'm trying to get the point across. Through everything that you can go through all the disappointments, through the frustrations, through the heartbreaks, through the fatigue, through the doubt, through the overthinking, the anxiety, if we just stay the course and trust the process and embrace the journey that we're on, when we reach our destination and we reach that point in life, we can look back at all of those things that look like hardships, but really they were just steps that got us to the next level. To get to that top level and be at your destination is one of the greatest feelings you have. And now, instead of being angry at the traffic and, well, I'm still getting over the minivan thing, but the traffic and the minivan being towed and being stuck and the babies are crying and all that, instead of that being the memory, those are just moments. But the memories, having my son put him in water for the first time and him smiling, having me and my oldest son jump in the waves and laugh and joke and be on vacation, for us to sit on the beach and kind of kick it, for us to sit on the balcony and be eating lunch and laughing and having conversations, for me and my wife to see our children enjoying themselves, for us to have fruitful conversations and be able to relax and be in our happy place because we both love the beach and we both love the water, to be able to see, my extended family, their younger children enjoy themselves, for us to come together as a family and eat every single night and just celebrate life and just be happy with the fact that, like, we're able to take a time out of all of the busyness that is going on and have this moment and reach that destination to be able to fully enjoy everything that's going on. Yeah, man, it's worth it. It is. May this also be a sign of using self-care to go find something you love to do, whether that's a vacation or a beachfront or whatever the case may be. But also, take your time on the journey, okay? Take your time on the journey. When it's your time, it's your time. And you'll know. And yeah, there might be some frustrating moments. There might be some hard moments. There might be some doubts or what may have you. But let me tell you, the journey is important and it is worth it. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your journey. And always remember that every step that you take is building you toward greatness. As you pursue greatness in a world full of chaos, right? All right. I hope you gained something from it. Shout out to Urban Royalty with the Born Dope hoodie. I love this. This is probably my favorite one. If you see this, I need more. I need more of these. A black one, a blue one, a white one. I'll just contact you. Anyway, coming soon. Website is under development. Of course, I'm going to put it out there when it happens. Once again, my brother's album is streaming, Alone at Last. I posted that on the gram, so make sure you follow that. Thank you. Next episode, my goal is to be back Thursday and do it again. All right. So stay positive, stay fruitful. Remember, I believe in you. I love you. I'm pushing for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm your biggest fan, your biggest advocate. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, Overthinking Thoughts Pod, Instagram at OverthinkingThoughtsPod, Gmail, OverthinkingThoughtsPod at gmail.com, and on TikTok at OverthinkingThoughtsPod. I've been your host, Ed. I'm excited for everything that's coming up. Embrace that journey. Peace.